Hello ladies and gentlemen, welcome back and thank you so much for tuning in. Okay, we kindly interrupt this intro to give you an explanation about all this stuff, this life that has gotten in the way of Woody and us working on this vehicle. So here are a couple clips of what's been going on. What's going on here, man?
I'm looking for gold. That's how you find it in streams, right?
Yeah, painting for gold in the pond here. So Woody's beautiful hand-built pond. This thing is sick. Lots of fish in there. And if you can see those guys, the little goldfish. It's all full of fish. So what's been happening here with this pond? While we, it looks like it's in construction mode here.
Well, I'm finally able to rebuild my deck. And it used to sit out about here. And it's not going to sit out here anymore. It's going to sit back here. And unfortunately, this much just sits out there. And it's horrible. So I'm going to remove this, push it back to about there, so that when I have the deck put back, it still gives the allure of being a deck.
So why are you putting a new deck in?
They don't last forever. They've rotted out. The fat boy stepped on a board and stepped on the ground. And, yeah, I probably should do this.
So this is quite the project. And then I guess it was just about 6 months ago you replaced the liner in 2 of the ponds?
Yeah, that one because of the tree that's now missing.
Yes, tree cut down. Roots came in and wrecked the liner and it was leaking. He was losing a bunch of water. So yeah, there's life getting in the way, part 1. And now we're going to take a look at part 2, which is more recent. Okay, so now part 2 of life getting in the way of Woody. As we mentioned in a previous video where we were doing a little bit of cutting of sheet metal with a plasma cutter, he was making some new access doors for his crawl space, because the crawl space down here was just encapsulated and some foundation repair was done with some of the jacks that they use to raise the floor when the house settles over years. So what he was working on this past couple of weeks were the covers for the crawl space entries, and as you can see here they are. There's one more on the other side of this area here to keep the rain out. And he made this with some sheet metal and framed it out actually using some tube steel from an old bunk bed. He purchased some galvanized sheathing and there we go. Looks pretty good. But needless to say, very time consuming, but the reason he did it himself is the company that did all this work wanted to charge an extra $1,600 to $1,800 just to do this, and he's about $300 in it, I think he said. So he saved a bunch of money just by doing it himself. Pretty cool stuff, but this stuff had to get done, and sorry, you know, that kind of got in the way of working on the car, but as you can tell by this video, we're right back on it. So as you can tell, those are some pretty big projects, and you know, those are really important because that's maintaining the health of one's property, and you don't want to mess with that investment. So these things happen, and you know, we take care of them as we can, but we're going to get back to that car. I'm Junior. This is Woody.
She's back.
In today's episode, this girl's thirsty and we need to give her a drink. Okay, once again, thanks for tuning in. So we're back out here with the car. I know it's been a minute, but we're trying to make some progress today. We're going to begin by trying to defeat the VAT system, the vehicle, what do you call that?
I can tell you exactly what it's called.
You know what it's called.
It's called strike one, you get nothing.
Indeed, we got nothing. Got stumped on the whole VAT system. So, vehicle anti-theft system, as it's called. So we're moving on to something we know we can handle today and not really have to go anywhere except for Lowe's here in a bit.
Strike 2, still not going to work out the way you wanted.
So we're moving on some fuel lines. What we're doing today is we're going to be mapping out and cutting fuel line to reach the from the engine back to the fuel tank, and we have some AN6 fitted braided line. Hopefully got enough of that. Got a couple rolls of that, and currently we are trying to figure out what
Strike three, we don't have the right fitting parts, so guess what? I'm out. I quit.
Ah.
Working with.
So what we're working on is placement for the fuel regulator, and this is kind of a key component. You want to get that distance right with the fuel lines and also back there with the fuel tank. So there's not really a factory place to mount a fuel pressure regulator because this car was originally equipped with the throttle body injection, and now again, as you know, we're running the carburetor. So what Woody was thinking is building a bracket, which this is the bracket the pressure regulator rides on, and building a bracket and welding it in this area here on the strut tower, and then that way we can go, it'll be elevated a little bit, give some clearance, sit just kind of like that. And then once we have confirmed this is where this thing's going to live, then we're going to run line down behind and underneath the steering and down underneath the firewall, excuse me, down under the firewall, and run it under the passenger side of the vehicle. So our supply line to the carburetor is going to go here. We're going to relocate the intake, the fuel intake, from the other side. It's ambidextrous.
Nipple change.
Yes, so we'll move that nipple over here and then that bolt over there to cap that off, and that should be just fine. And then our return will also follow the supply that goes to the carburetor, but once it gets there, it's going to run all the way down to the end of the car to the fuel tank. So yeah, looks like a lot of fun. So we're going to build a bracket, but first I think we're going to actually go to Lowe's and pick up some.
Oh, you think we're just going for P-clamps? I got a list, son.
Yeah. So we'll see you when we get back, and we get these P-clamps, and then we're going to use those to mount the fuel lines under the car at the factory mounting locations. But the original fuel lines were really small in diameter, the hard fuel lines, and they had a different bracket. This braided fuel line will not fit
Trying to
it. So
suck a thick milkshake through a itty bitty baby straw.
Just doesn't work.
yeah, fair enough. Back from Lowe's in a bit. So we are just back from Lowe's. Took a lot longer than we expected it to, because Lowe's, what can we say about Lowe's?
PG, family, R-rated. What version would you like?
Lowe's channel likes the PG version.
They're craptacular. They have 8 in stock until you go there, and then they have 2.
Yeah, so, you know, it took us a long time just to find these clamps right here that we bought from Slows. And we've got these P-clamps. Yeah, so it's kind of what we're looking at is wrap around the braided line, and then up under the car we'll just bolt it to under the floor. It should work out pretty well for us. Always safety first, folks. Yeah. So what our next course of action is going to be, we have to wrap up our day. I have to travel and get up early in the morning, and someone else has to build a deck tomorrow starting early in the morning. So what we're going to do is we're going to move over here and go under the car here, and we're going to snake this braided line up from underneath, and then we're going to move on to the back. So we'll see if we can get the line at least will run from the front to the rear and make it look like we actually maybe got something done today, sort of. So we'll be right back, show you what we got done.
So somewhere around in here, there should be a fuel line that will come up. I think we have to do like some. Got it! Got it! All right, we've got it. Ow!
What's going on up there?
It bit me.
Oh,
Again. It's taped. It's not supposed to have teeth, but there's like 2 right there.
oh.
Oh well. All right, cool. Well, that's a little success right there. We got our we have a line through. We don't know if he's going to be a bringer or a taker, but he's there. It's hard to find good help these days. Let's see if we can get a rise out of Junior. Hey, should I take this to a shop since you can't seem to get it all together?
Might not be a bad idea.
It's kind of what I figured, man. I mean, the quality of work that I'm getting here. I mean, shouldn't you have been done with this like last year?
I'm trying my best.
Well, my boy, your best ain't good enough. Put it back together. Chipmunk wants to go fast.
Yeah,
Woo!
Okay, so we're under the car. It's extremely tight. Woody, I think, is just laying down and taking a nap. So this is what it's going to look like as we move down the back of the car. We're going to stop for the day.
I'm not laying down taking a nap. I'm stuck. I need a button. I'm falling and I can't get it.
Yeah, we'll get him some help soon. It looks nice and tidy, and those P-clamps work like a charm. I'll have to come back down because we're going to be running 2 P-clamps per mounting end, mounting spot, I should say, for your return and your supply. So let me get off from underneath this car. Ugh. Okay, so I finally made it from underneath the car, and I'm the only one that made it from underneath the car, it appears. What in the world what are you doing?
I figured if the car could drink alcohol, I could have some too.
Brand new fuel lines. What are you doing? Are you okay?
No, it won't go fast.
I know.
This makes the car go fast.
Not gonna make
If I
you
drink it, it'll make me go fast, right?
fast into a hole.
Oh. I gotta do more research.
There you go. Well, folks, again, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate you watching. If you made it this far, please give it a big like. And remember, we're going to be doing some giveaways every 250 subscribers. And hang out, wait for that. 3rd gen guys out there, hey, get in the comments. You know, give us some advice, some general assistance here. You know, we could actually all do this together. We'll be down there in the dirt, and you'll be sitting back virtually and following along and helping us out on the side, and that would be amazing. So,
Yeah, like any problem with the thought of the fuel regulator where we've got it, let us know.
folks, until the next episode, promise more content's coming on the Camaro, and it's just not going to be a lot of fun work over the next couple of videos being under that car. But in the meantime, we love you. We'll see you in the next one. All right.
You're such a wuss, dude. I did the whole undercoating with this thing down like here, and now you're worried about it when this thing's up like a 4x4. Bless you, and bless your heart, son.